Welcome back. It's a word that we've all heard, but few of us actually know what probate is.
Here to help us plan for the future, Paralegal Valerie Kailhofer from Hooper Law Office. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, so you hear people mention dealing with probate after somebody has passed away, but what is probate?
Simply put, probate is the court process for dealing with a person's estate if they have a will in place or no planning at all. They inventory the asset, pay all the bills, and then make sure the assets are passed to the beneficiaries accordingly.
Okay.
So if you have a will, you have to go through court. I've heard that you can sort of avoid some of these steps. How does all that work?
Unfortunately, that's a big misconception, and we're not really sure where that started, but a lot of people think that if they have a will in place that they're avoiding the probate process. Simply put, a will is a set of instructions for the probate court. Okay. So if you've planned with the will, you're planning for your estate to go through probate. And a lot of times what we see is people have a nice will, but then they beneficiary designation their assets in another direction, which can cause a lot of confusion when someone has passed away. The key goal is to have a central point of control. So if you planned with the will, make sure your assets are going through that will so everything's handled according to your wishes.
Why is it, do you think, that people try to avoid probate?
It's confusing and it's a little scary. A lot of times when you're named as a personal representative, you've never been through that court process before. It's a lengthy process, about a year. And it is also a public process. A lot of people try to keep it a little more private, would like things a little more private. So yeah, it's very confusing, but sometimes there's 3 reasons to use probate. One is if you have minor children or a child with special needs, guardianship is handled through probate court, the only place that guardians can be named. If you have a deficit estate, so you owe more than what you have assets to cover, the court will then go ahead and handle those claims accordingly. And then if you have any conflict within your family, sometimes having that judge, that third person to come in and say, nope, this is how we're doing things, makes it easier for everybody.
And how is an attorney helpful, really, through that whole process?
Well, there's 2 different roles that attorneys play. One is like a litigation attorney. So if you do have some of that conflict, sometimes attorneys are brought in to help sort that out. Our office, what we do is we assist the personal representative. So we are hired by the personal representative to work through that court system, figure out the forms, inventorying the assets, and then communicate with the beneficiaries and just kind of assist that personal representative to make sure that they're following that process accordingly.